Perhaps the first proper superhero film to be revealed to the world, the 1978 Superman had a whole ton of advantages under its utility belt. It was released before the times of the gritty realism portrayed through the likes of Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy or even Tim Burton's Batman, released in 1989, and therefore had the chance to express the colourful and adventurous tones found in the actual comic books at the time. Superman wasn't shown to us wearing dark, grim colours, for example, but instead of red and blue skin-tight costume featuring a red flowing cape and red underwear worn on the outside of his man tights to accompany it. He smiles a lot too. It's just such a relief to go back and watch a DC comic book film like this now, especially after sitting through Man of Steel for about the 5th time, trying to convince myself that it does indeed live up to the trailers. Just to feel that sense of wonder and amazement that is created constantly throughout. I think the film achieves this in multiple ways, such as through its charismatic lead in Christopher Reeve as both Superman and Clark Kent, who perfectly switches between the two with barely any effort. He arguably gives the best interpretation of both characters, and is undeniably likeable. The score also plays a large part in this thanks to the master composer John Williams, who yet again creates another iconic and unforgettable theme tune, straight off completing the 1977 Star Wars film too, it seems. I mean, who just doesn't love that tune? There is also some nice direction from Donner, who does indeed seem to go with the typical, oh no, someone has coincidentally gotten into a deadly accident just as Clark Kent happens to be walking by, scenario, but executes these scenes in such a fun manner, allowing for these generic scenarios to become engaging throughout their light-hearted approach to things. The narrative is enjoyable as well, especially since we get to see Clark grow from a baby into such a strong man and see him deal with loss, growing up and moving on to use his power for good. Well, and time travel, but yeah. I'm a fan of origin stories, and this early film adaptation is no exception. You really feel the character grow and change over time. I also like some of the small touches he put in the film, such as referencing the whole got a change in a telephone box thing that he did iconically prior to these times, but showing how times have changed and how he can't do that anymore and stuff. Much to my surprise, I think the cinematographer does a decent job too. I found there to be some very nicely composed shots in the film, mainly during the scenes at the farm very early on, but still. Performance-wise, I also like Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor. I don't find the humour elements with him all funny, and I'm in no way a fan of his sidekicks, but I do find him to work as the whole egotistical villain who wants nothing more than to do the best at stuff to work thing. Great. Though I don't really find Lois Lane all that likeable in this film. She just comes across as rather annoying and quite rude towards Clark Kent unless he's being Superman. And of course she has to become the damsel in distress, but oh well, it's a Superman movie, I guess. She's played by the actress named Margot Kidder, poor woman. They do seem to improve on her character for Superman 2, and so it's not all too bad. I don't hate her or anything, I just find her a rather irritating character and I don't quite understand what Clark sees in her. The only real other issues I have with the film come from some of the outdated effects, the cheesiness from certain characters, and some pacing issues that occur at a few points in the film, usually when cutting to characters who aren't Superman / Clark Kent. Oh, and I do find the ending to be a little far-fetched, and I'm pretty sure most people will know as to what I'm referring to, if you've seen the film. Apart from this, the film's running time flies by, get it? And offers a ton of humorous fun along the way without becoming too serious or becoming too campy and offering a dozen paths for future superhero films to follow. It's just great fun to watch, basically. Anyway, I'd give Superman a 7.4 out of 10. I'd definitely recommend this film to almost anyone, especially those who were left a little disappointed by the likes of Man of Steel, or to anyone who's just looking forward to seeing Batman vs Superman when that finally comes out. And yeah, this was my first film review to YouTube. I know it may seem a bit of an odd film choice to start on, and I completely agree. But that's that now, and I do have more in the making, so why not take the time to subscribe and stuff? it'd be really appreciated, and I hope I can keep this up because it's pretty fun and stuff.